Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike from 1AAuto. I hope this how-to video helps you out. And next time you need parts for your vehicle, think of 1AAuto.com. Thanks.
In this video, we're going to show you how to replace the front window regulator. We're going to do the front driver's side on this 2003 Ford Focus. The procedure is basically the same for the front passenger side as well. A lot of times when these regulators go bad, you'll hear a popping or a snapping sound and then some grinding, and you'll hear the motor trying to work, but nothing really happening with the window. And the tools you'll need for this are a small and regular size flat blade screwdrivers, T20 Torx driver, and you'll need 6, 7, 8, and 10 millimeter sockets with a ratchet and extension.
Okay, on this door, first up at the top corner, you want to pull your trim out. Okay, it should pull, this has already come off. You pull out and then it pulls back and off. And then you can disconnect this. This is your small screwdriver, and you actually kind of just pry right in here on this side of the connection. Pull it out.
And I'm just going to speed it up here. Those screws use a T20 Torx bit, so use your T20 Torx bit and remove all of them.
Okay, you'll want to pry this off. Easiest to kind of get right here in the back, pry that out, it comes right off. Okay, go in with a 7 millimeter socket, the extension and ratchet. A 1/4 millimeter socket actually works as well. And remove these two bolts.
And if you notice I said a 1/4 millimeter, it's actually a 1/4 inch socket works just as well as the 7 millimeter socket.
Okay, now this panel actually reach right in here, pull firmly, and then up here, same thing, pull firmly. Pull this panel out, and then this disconnects. There's a little tab. It's kind of back behind the wires. Push that tab down. Pull that out. Okay. Tab's actually right here on the back. Pushes down. Same thing over here. A couple harnesses. They just have tabs that you press with your thumb. Pull out. Disconnected. Now you can just take your panel, pull it out, and go up. The panel comes off.
Carefully remove that foam block by kind of grabbing on the clips and rotating it counterclockwise. Then carefully pull back your water shield. You want to be as cautious as you can not to rip it. Unclip your door handle. And like I said, just pull that back. Usually the adhesive kind of lets go and you can pull it for a while. Just be careful not to rip it. And you'll also need to remove the speaker, which it's just held on by 4 6 millimeter nuts. Then you pull it away from the door and disconnect the lead just by pressing on a little tab, and it disconnects pretty easily.
Okay, once you have the water shield pulled back, the regulator is a cable actuator regulator, and usually what happens is the cable snaps, and that's what you'll hear. You'll hear like a popping sound and then grinding. And your window will actually, sometimes the window will fall down, or sometimes it'll stay in place, but you can actually move it by hand. And what you'll want to do, and you can see my regulator is actually in fine shape, but I'm going to show you how to do this anyways. What you would want to do is have a helper probably move the window to this position, which is about 2/3 up, and you'll be able to see a 10mm bolt here, and then a 10mm bolt that you can get through right there. Okay, and you'll loosen these two 10mm bolts and remove the window. Now the window motor is connected down here. Just press on a tab, disconnect. There are 5 bolts to remove. You see 2 8mm bolts right down here, one up here, one here, and one down here.
Fast forward here as I just remove those 5 8mm bolts, and then I just kind of clip the door handle back up in place just to get it out of the way.
Get it out of the way. There is a little tab here, squeeze, push that through, and then you should be able to take your window regulator. Okay, new regulator from Auto. You can see it's just like the old one. One slight difference, the pigtail on here is a little bit longer, but that's not going to affect it too much. Okay, so I'm going to put it back in.
And I am going to fast forward here. You just kind of have to jockey the regulator into the right position, and it goes into the door. And then it's just a matter of kind of reaching through with your hand through the different holes. Hold the regulator in place, start the 5 bolts, the 8mm bolts that hold it in place, and then tighten those up.
Okay, you might have to reach back up in here, but the new one comes with a little clip that you just slide it on the cable and put it in the door. It also comes with a little clip for the back side, and you clip the padded cable to the non-sheath cable just to keep them together. So they don't have any chance of hitting the door. In this particular case, this comes with a pigtail that you plug in, and the colors on the wires you would think would mean the red goes to the red. Not always the case. What happens here is Ford actually made 2 different motors. They made a motor for the left hand and a motor for the right hand. Basically, our manufacturer, just a little bit, I would say, smarter. One motor fits both sides, but basically rather than wiring the motors differently, they allow you to take care of it. So if you plug what you want to do basically is plug it in. You can plug red to red and the black to blue to start out and see how it works. Okay, plug the motor in, turn your key on. Okay, and with your switch plugged in, up goes down, down goes up. So all you have to do is unplug these and plug them in the other way, and down is down and up is up. And you want to run it up and line it up so you can get to that bolt easily through this hole. Turn off the key, and you can unplug your switch.
And here, before I get back into putting the window in, since that cable is a little longer, I just take a couple of plastic wire ties. You could use that, or you could even use just like a bread tie, just to kind of wire that cable up there so it stays out of the way of the window.
Put the front in first. Put the front down.
Here I'm going to fast forward again. I just find that on the new regulator, the bolts that hold the pinches to the regulator to the window were not loose, so I just loosened them up a bit and get the regulator to get right down in the middle of those clips or clasps, and then tighten those bolts up nice and firm. And we'll fast forward again here as we put that water shield back in place. And now remember to reconnect your speaker and then put it back in place. Use the 4 6mm bolts to secure it. Put the door handle back in place, and then remember to put that block of styrofoam back in. You just kind of put it into place and get the clips lined up and rotate it clockwise. Okay, I'm going to fast forward as I pull the, I'm going to fast forward through putting the door panel back together. If you want to see this in regular motion, you can just check out our other videos, but hang the panel back up on the ledge, reconnect the mirror switch, reconnect the window switches, and put those trim panels back in place, and then put the bolts back in for the door pull. And now I'm going to fast forward as I take those 2 7mm bolts, reinsert them into that door pull and tighten them up, and then put the trim panel, snap it back into place. You want to put the top in first and then snap the bottom into place. And continue that speed as I just take the there's 7 T20 screws. One goes in the door handle, the rest go around the perimeter of the door panel, and put those in and tighten them up. And last but not least, put the little trim panel over the screw in the door handle. We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.1aauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.